Hello again, everybody. It's me, Marcus, and I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Be Quiet and Drive, Far Away, by the Deftones. Or just Deftones, I guess. I've heard a little bit from the Deftones at this point. Last song I heard from them was Rosemary, which I loved. Fantastic song. It's on the playlist. Just as I predicted, I've been listening to it quite a bit at this point. Of course, everybody's heard Change in the House of Flies, Passenger, Minerva, Digital Bath I did on the channel. That was a good one too. So really love what I've been hearing from the Deftones and very excited to get to another one of their songs. I always seem to heap praise onto Chino Moreno, so I'm excited. Let's listen. This is Deftones, Be Quiet and Drive. This does come as a request, so as always, if you would like to request something as well, definitely leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. Alright, here we go. Deftones, Be Quiet and Drive, Far Away. That was a hell of a song. I gotta say, that was a hell of a song. There's just something again. There's just something about Chino Moreno, man. I feel like when he sings, I just want to like draw a bath, put it on some candles, turn off the lights, and just sit and listen. He just has that sort of voice. It's very like, it's very sexy. It's very like whimsical almost. It's like, again, I just want to lay in the bath and throw on some candles and turn off the lights and just vibe out. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. And like the thing is, the instrumentation's heavy. There's some heavy guitar in there in certain parts, but there's something about his voice brings that sweetness to the song that I'm just like, I don't care what you're talking about, man. I mean, I care what you're talking about because I'm a lyrics guy, but it's like you could be singing the phone book, but you're God, I'm old phone book. You could be singing the dictionary. And I would, fuck, that's old too. Yeah, you could basically sing anything, and I'd pay attention. So, yeah, totally down for Chino Moreno. Love his style, love his voice. I loved the heaviness of this song, again, juxtaposed with Chino's more sweet, melodic vocals. And yeah, I've only ever heard one song off this album before now, and it was My Own Summer, which is a lot heavier. It features some screaming, I'm assuming, from Chino himself. And so I kind of always assumed that everything off this album would be sort of in that same vein. And so I kind of stayed away from this album for a while. Even though I do like heavy music and I don't mind screaming vocals, to me it just wasn't Deftones enough. But a song like this, I think, works really well for me. And I like My Own Summer, don't get me wrong, but I think when I go looking for Deftones music, I look for a song like this. This was fantastic. So I had a great time with this one. Thank you so much for the request, whoever requested this one. But yeah, let's break it down like we always do. Let's, of course, start with the lyrics. So a little bit of information here. It does say that this song is based on an old Depeche Mode song called Never Let Me Down Again, about just forgetting all your troubles and leaving on a trip with close friends. Yeah, cool. This is not the first artist who has been inspired by Depeche Mode. I had someone tell me that their song Enjoy the Silence influenced future Muse songs, or I guess maybe Depeche Mode in general had a big influence on Muse and their music. And so now I'm seeing Depeche Mode has some influence, at least, on Deftones. So that's interesting. I never knew or thought that Depeche Mode was sort of a big band. I'd only ever really heard their song Personal Jesus, and that was it. And so I just assumed it was that one hit, and again, that was it. But you guys tell me, I mean, were they a much bigger band than I think I realized? How far does their influence go? Because I think it's interesting that in such a short amount of time, I've seen and heard two bands that take influence from Depeche Mode, this band that I've written off as a one-hit wonder. So let me know. I'm curious to know more about Depeche Mode and their influence. Anybody out there who might know. But yeah, let's take a look at those lyrics. And I definitely got that vibe from it, just wanting to get away. And I mean, he says it himself, I don't care where, just far away. So, this town don't feel mine, I'm fast to get away far. I dressed you in her clothes, now drive me far away, away, away. That part, I was like, okay, what does he mean by that? My initial guess was that maybe he has just gone through a breakup. His relationship failed, and maybe he has these fragments, these remnants of that relationship, like some clothes that she had left at his house or whatever, right? So he's found this new person here, wear this, wear her clothes, and let's get the hell out of here. That's kind of how I took it. But I mean, let me know what you guys think. That's really the only way I could think of to read this one. But I think a lot of us have felt this way before. Where you're at right now just doesn't feel like the place you're meant to be, and so you just want to leave. You want to go wherever, And I think that's a big part of youth, as well. Is like when you're youthful, you want to see so much more. I mean, I've had those moments too, where it's like I just want to drive. I don't care where I go. I just want to drive somewhere that's not here. And so, I've done that in the past, where I just hop in my car and I just go somewhere, like it doesn't matter where. I don't plan on spending a week there or anything like that. I just want to go drive somewhere else, And again, I think that's something that comes with that youth and that freedom. I think of the first time You know, I think when I first got my driver's license, I wanted to drive everywhere. It didn't matter where. I just wanted to go somewhere because now I could drive. I had that freedom, you know, and I think that's a big part of it. So I picture here when I look at this song, when I hear this song, I picture again someone young who just wants to get out, just wants to go somewhere. You know, doesn't matter where, just anywhere. It feels good to know you're mine. Now drive me far away, away, away. Far away, I don't care where, just far away. I don't care where, just far away. And basically goes on like that for a while. So I thought that was great. You know, definitely captured, again, that feeling of being young and just wanting to get out and wanting to escape. And again, it doesn't matter. You just want to go. I think lyrically very simple, you know, quite repetitive, I think. But in a good way. You know, there are some songs that are way too repetitive and it really takes away from the song. I felt this song was just repetitive enough to really drive that idea home, and how he changes up his voice, I think, really worked there. So 2 thumbs up for me on the lyrics. As far as the instrumentation goes, a lot to enjoy here. The guitar was fantastic. You know, they would have these higher notes, and then they would echo that with some lower notes, but it would be the same notes, I guess, the same pattern, the same lick, or whatever you want to call it. I'm very musically illiterate. I apologize, but it sounded great. That's all I can say is it sounded great. You know, I may not have all the terms, know all the words, but I can tell you when I really enjoy the way something sounds, and that guitar work was fantastic. Let's see, Stephen Carpenter, great job on the guitar there. And then, of course, there were moments when the song got really heavy, and you get that heavy, blaring guitar. A lot of distortion on the guitar as well, but I think it really worked here. You know, this was the late 90s album, and I think, very signature style there for the late 90s. Drum work was fine, bass was fine. Of course, Chino sounds great. One thing I almost forgot to mention, the opening riff kind of really reminded me of Send the Pain Below by Chevelle. I don't know if they've ever gotten that comparison, and I want to say Chevelle came a little bit later than this album. You know, the Send the Pain Below came a little bit later than this album, so if anything, it's Chevelle took influence from Deftones and not the other way around, I think. But still, I was like, oh, this sounds like Send the Pain Below, that opening riff. But you know, it was still great. I mean, I loved it. So instrumentally, it was great. Vocally, again, I love Chino Moreno. He just has this sexy, dark voice that I think is just, to me, unmatched in rock. I haven't heard anyone quite like Chino Moreno before. There's just something about it, and you combine it with sort of the heavy instrumentation and some of that dark instrumentation, and it works so well for me. So instrumentally, vocally, 2 big thumbs up there. And then as far as replay value goes, this one's on the playlist, no question about it. I mean, I feel like Deftones is one of those bands where every time I hear a new song from them, I'm like, I'm instantly in love. It happened with Rosemary. It happened with Digital Bath. It's just they're a great band. So it's on the playlist. It's gonna get listened to plenty of times. In fact, I'm probably gonna listen to it again once I'm done recording. So 2 thumbs up. Really enjoyed it all the way around. So again, thank you for whoever requested this one. Had a great time with it. As always, if you would like to request something as well, leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artist. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place you can definitely find some Deftones at this point is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below. It has every single song I've heard so far on my channel. And then if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, you know, like and subscribe and comment. All right, that's it for me. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.